What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Goat and Sons with the second video. It's going to be some NFL Week 4 predictions. I'm here
Yeah,
with the boys' son.
I'm Sung.
I'm Goat, you already know.
Alright,
Uh,
let's just get right into it. Thursday night football, Bears at Packers.
with that game, most definitely Green Bay. It'll be a close game, but Green Bay.
I mean, definitely the Bears, obviously.
Oh yeah, can't bet against them.
Nah, I'm
But
kidding. I think, at Lambeau, Packers should be a pretty easy win.
for me, I wouldn't say easy, but it will be a win for the Packers.
True, they struggled with Cincinnati last week.
Yeah, and the Bears been looking pretty good. Well, at home anyway.
Yeah. Alright, next game, Saints at Dolphins in London.
Since I'm a Dolphins fan, you already know. I have Miami winning. They played particularly good in London. Really, I don't remember them losing in London before. So I'm gonna go with a close win on this one because Miami, they've only played 3 games so far. The Saints, Miami has only played 2 games, and New Orleans has only played played 3. So Miami's still having that less week game. Maybe with that bye week in week 1 gave them something, but I have Miami in a very close game. It wouldn't surprise me if the Saints would win.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins would win that, but probably within a touchdown. Within one possession,
Definitely, yeah.
maybe like 20-14.
Yeah, it would be pretty close.
All right, next game, Tennessee at Houston.
I have Tennessee in a close game. The only reason it's a close game because they're a division rival. Wouldn't surprise me if the Texans would win, but I have Tennessee winning. They're on a roll. They just came off a big win against Seattle in Seattle, so I'm gonna go with Tennessee.
Mhm. I uh, I might see the Texans winning, but I personally like the Titans in the division. They have a pretty easy division. Really, the only threat is Jacksonville, and it's Jacksonville. So, yeah, Titans.
I think all the teams in that division are a threat, honestly. I mean, just because they're bad don't mean they're not a
Except
threat.
the Colts. Cough, cough. Cough, cough.
Uh,
Where's the QB?
yeah, they need to start Andrew Luck if they want to get something going. Like Houston, they keep squeaking out this division win with these 9-7 records. They could be tough, but Jacksonville, if they play like they did last week, they will definitely give Tennessee a run for their money.
Mhm. Alright, speaking of Jacksonville, next game is Jacksonville at Jets.
Jacksonville. I have them within a touchdown score, but I think it will be a pretty high scoring game. The only reason the Jets will stay competitive is because it's in New York. But I do have Jacksonville winning based off of the last 3 weeks. I feel like they're the better team. The Jets did beat Miami last week, but I wouldn't necessarily say that was the Jets being good. I think it was the Dolphins just being bad outright.
I think it was like Jay Cutler, cough, cough.
It was like against the Chargers when we won. It was really the defense that almost gave us up the game, but this week it was the offense. Like they need to figure it out, especially with that horrible fake punt that was a pick.
Mhm.
But I have
Yeah,
Jacksonville.
I also have Jaguars. I think that should be a semi-easy game. Maybe like, I don't know, like 28-20 maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
my score prediction is 37-31, honestly, or at
Mhm.
least for me, that's my score prediction.
This one is kind of difficult, seeing how the home team has played recently. Panthers at Patriots.
Uh, I have New England winning of a score of 21-13. Now here's what Carolina, if New England's been playing poorly,
Yeah, they
but
almost lost to the Texans.
but Carolina choked last week, and that has me worried because it's in Foxborough. Now, I'd love to see the Carolina Panthers get a win here, but I just have New England winning and squeaking out a late touchdown 2 point conversion just to get that upper hand, and then Panthers not being able to give it done in time.
Yeah, I would say rough. I think it could be a kind of a low scoring game, maybe like 17-14, 17-13, somewhere around there. But I think the Patriots, they're just too good, really. Even though that they've almost had, they almost went to 1-2, but you know. Next game, Detroit at Minnesota.
Now, this game, they're both right now 2-1. Both 2-1 right now. De- it's in Minnesota, but Detroit has been playing outstanding.
Detroit, I feel like Detroit should have got the win.
Yeah, they should have won their last game, but
Yeah, that was kind of a bull call, but you know.
they didn't. I have Minnesota just because it's in Minnesota. I have them winning 24-17 just by a touchdown. Just because if it was in Detroit, I would have had Detroit here. But I got to give the edge to Minnesota.
Mhm. I don't think home field will really affect this game. I like the Lions in this. Probably pretty close, maybe like 21-20 possibly, but
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Detroit would win. They're far better. They're the far better team out of the two. But I just have Minnesota at home. It's a division game. All those four teams struggle against each other when they're playing each other just because it's a divisional game, rivalry game. So I'm going with Minnesota. But it wouldn't surprise me if Detroit won.
mhm. All right, next game, Buffalo at Atlanta.
I think we'll know who we have here. Atlanta. Buffalo. They've been playing pretty good, but it's Atlanta,
Yeah. Are they 1 and
and it's
2
in
or
it.
2 and 1?
The Bills are 2-1, and Atlanta's 3-0.
I think I like Atlanta.
It's in Atlanta. They're gonna win by at least 2 possessions.
Yeah, maybe like I don't know, 20, 24-14 maybe.
I have 28-16.
All right. All right, going on, Steelers at Ravens.
Now this right here,
This is kind of tough. This one
because
and the next one are pretty tough.
Baltimore choked last week, but I have Baltimore because it's in Baltimore.
I mean,
Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh choked last week too.
yeah, Pittsburgh really they struggle on the road a lot. They they're gonna take a pretty big hit this year if they keep choking on the road. I have Baltimore by a field goal just because it's in Baltimore. When they
Yeah,
go to Pittsburgh, I'm going with Pittsburgh, but it's Baltimore.
yeah. Um, this one is kind of tough. I mean, I'm an Eagles fan, and I don't like Pittsburgh fans because, you know, this state rivalry. But I think they will probably win within a few points. Maybe like 2017, 21-17 maybe. But just barely.
All right.
Alright, next game. This is, this is kind of ironic. Cincinnati at Cleveland.
I knew you were gonna say that. Now here's where I'm not sure about this game. They're both 0-3. Now, with this game, I'm gonna switch up my prediction of what I had at first. At first I had Cincinnati winning, but after seeing how these teams have played, I'm gonna have to switch to Cleveland.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take Cleveland in this. I had Cincinnati by a field goal. Now I have the Browns by a touchdown because um the the Bengals have just completely sucked lately. But
yeah.
the Browns they haven't won a game, but they've been keeping their games close. They've been actually trying a lot, but the Bengals they just they just
They've
died.
take yeah they took L's. Um, this one is also kind of tough. I liked what Cincinnati did last week, keeping it really close against definitely an NFC Championship contender, but they didn't have any touchdowns the first two games. Um, I think that's a pretty big factor, but the Browns are the Browns. They haven't really done anything except get that those first round draft picks the last couple of seasons. But I agree with you. I like Cleveland in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next game. This could be interesting. Los Angeles Rams at Dallas.
Oh, this one's pretty good. Like
Yeah.
I have this one being a really really tight game. I have the Rams winning. The Rams are phenomenal on the road. They've been playing extremely well. They're currently 2-1. They could be 3-0. They could have been, but I think the Rams are an
Yeah.
outstanding team. They've been playing extremely well. Dallas hasn't been playing too good. I mean, they squeaked a win against Arizona, but I honestly had Arizona doing pretty well this year, bouncing back, but they're not looking like it. But I have the Rams winning on the road, 34-28. It wouldn't surprise me if it was overtime.
Mhm. Um. Obviously, being an Eagles fan, I really want to see the Rams win, and I think that they will. Um. Okay, you can make the argument that the Cowboys are really good.
Trash.
Well, yes, obviously. But you can make the argument that they're really good, possibly better than last year, which I don't think so. Because now people know how
No.
to deal with Ezekiel Elliott. But, I could see the Cowboys winning, but I'm going to go with my gut and have a very close game and with the Rams taking it. Maybe like 21-20.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. I think you're not going to agree with me on this one, but this is definitely the easiest game on the whole list. Philadelphia at the Chargers.
It's not the easiest game on the list. I'm gonna tell you which one is.
Alright. Alright, well, what do you think? This game?
Um, Personally, the Eagles are better than the Chargers. Obviously, they are the better team, but it's the Chargers are at home, and the Chargers they're one of those teams who are pretty bad, but they get surprising victories during the season out of nowhere, and I feel like if there's any game early on in the season, it's going to be this one that they would squeak out a victory. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Philadelphia won, seeing as how they played for the last 3 weeks. But I'm gonna go with the Chargers on this one. I see them winning by maybe 3-4 points at tops.
Mm-hmm. Um, now, I think it was the last time the two teams played. The Eagles lost by like two possessions, I think. Obviously, me being an Eagles fan, I would love to see the Eagles win, and I think they are by a couple. The new environment with them playing in Los Angeles, which they're doing twice because they also play the Rams in Los Angeles. But I think they'll win. I think it'll also be a pretty low score game, possibly like 16-14, possibly.
Yeah,
But yeah,
my score is 21-17, but continue.
yeah. Um, I I would be pretty pissed if the Chargers won, but it would surprise me. Last time the two teams played, Eagles lost, and Eagles love to choke, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah,
They haven't been choking that much this year. I mean, really,
this
they've been
year,
doing pretty good.
I mean, we almost choked last week, but you know. All right, next game: Giants at Buccaneers.
This is the easiest game of the week. Tampa Bay.
Yeah, the only way I see the Giants winning is if their defense somehow does some outstanding stuff.
Yeah, Eli's
If
starting to
their
look old.
offense, if their offense played like the third quarter last week for the whole game, and their defense plays good, then I could see them winning. But I think it's a pretty clear decision that Tampa Bay should win.
I have Tampa Bay winning by 9 points.
Okay, I could see maybe like a 20-10, maybe a 20 or like a 21
Yeah.
to 10.
Yeah.
All right. 49ers at Cardinals.
This is a tough one because both of these teams, my God. But I have Arizona winning. It's in Arizona.
Yeah, I agree with you. This, if you checked out the last video on the channel, which was like a month ago, God, um,
Yeah.
we like the Cardinals being a underdog,
And
and
then the Bengals and Lions were the other two. And really, only one of them
really we
looking
should
pretty
have
good.
picked the Ravens instead of the Bengals, but
Yeah, really.
I
The
did not
Cardinals.
expect the Ravens to go this well. But
Really,
continue.
the Cardinals are mediocre right now. The Lions are actually doing pretty good, and the Bengals are just they're trash.
Yeah, true. So Cardinals, I think that's semi easy, but
How many games are left? Two, three.
3.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, Oakland, Denver, Indy, Seattle, and Washington, and Kansas.
mhm. All right. Um,
All right. So what game's next?
Raiders at Broncos.
This could be game of the week. This game could be game of the week, but I have Oakland. It wouldn't surprise me if Denver wins. I got a friend who's a Broncos fans. But he's not he. The Raiders are a really good team. I don't know what they did last week against Washington. They just but I got the Raiders winning by 35-31. But it wouldn't surprise me if Denver could pull out the win.
I like Denver at home in the altitude.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me honestly. But I got Oakland.
Yeah, if they could play like they did against Dallas, then they could really have a semi-easy trip to at least the playoffs. Kansas City is the only problem.
Yeah.
Raiders, I think it might be possible. This is off topic, but I think it's possible that AFC West has 3 teams going into playoffs.
Yeah, when that's pushing it, but it could happen.
Maybe,
There's
but
at least there's two of them. At least Kansas City and Oakland are going in.
yeah. But I have Broncos maybe like 27-20. But anyway, next game, Indianapolis at Seattle.
This is gonna be surprising now. I don't have Indianapolis winning, but I have it close. I have Seattle winning by touchdown, 16-23. Now the reason why is because Tennessee went right into Seattle and they won a close game. So I have Indianapolis even without Andrew Luck playing, unless they start Andrew. I have Seattle winning by a touchdown. I still believe that they are not the team they used to be. It wouldn't surprise me if the Rams win that division based on how all four of those teams have been playing. It wouldn't even surprise me if the Cardinals place top of them. But they're obviously coming ahead of the 49ers.
49ers come first in division.
Yeah, man.
Loving in
2 and
5.
14 first. 2 and 14 first in division.
Yeah. I like Seattle because one, it's the loudest stadium in the league. That's kind of, and it's prime time, so fans will be more hyped up. Most likely, I hope. But Indianapolis isn't really, the carrier of the division like we saw a few seasons ago. They're kind of dwindling because
Yeah, ever since Andrew Luck went down.
they don't have anything. Like last season, they didn't really have anything whatsoever besides Andrew and what maybe a wide receiver or two, T.Y. Hilton.
Andrew didn't even play last season, I don't think. or he only played a few games, then he got injured.
Oh yeah, because they had Matt Hasselbeck. Wait, no, Matt Hasselbeck retired last season.
Yeah, the Colts have gone downhill
Since
the
Matt
Deflate Gate.
Hasselbeck.
Since the Deflate Gate.
Yeah. All right, Monday Night Football, Skins at Chiefs.
Now, Washington completely made Oakland look like a high school team. But that don't change the fact I have Kansas City winning 35-24. Kansas City is just a more complete team. Washington, they're okay, mediocre, but yeah, Kansas City's gonna win easily. Maybe it's close
Yeah.
at the beginning, but it's gonna be Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City. I mean, they're a Super Bowl contender. I could see them winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I can.
Oakland's my pick to win the Super Bowl, but if they play like how they did last week, I'm not sure. But they're my pick to win the Super Bowl as of right now.
If the Chiefs play like they have the past 3 weeks, then they will be.
Yeah.
It will be a smooth ride to a ring. But
Yeah, most definitely.
yeah, it goes undefeated.
Nah, we're not about that life. Nah, especially
Yeah,
I'm not about that life. I don't know about you, but I'm not. I'm not
yeah.
about that life.
Patriots 19-1. I got 18-1, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Patriots is low key trash for that.
Alright, so you want to do like another segment before we end it? Kind of.
Yeah. Uh, top 5 teams of the week, or at least who I think will perform the best based on performances that they've been having lately. So my top 5 teams from 1 to 5. First, it's going to be the Atlanta Falcons. They're 4-0. They're still going to be playing really well. Second, Kansas City Chiefs 4-0. They're going to be playing really well. Now these number 3, my next one, and number 5 are going to be probably surprising, but number 4 is a given. Number 3, I have the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams have been playing extremely well. I feel like they'll continue that trend, so I have them at 3 at a record of 3-1. Number 4, this shouldn't be surprising. New England Patriots 3-1. They're going to bounce back from these past few poor weeks. It's going to be another close game, but they'll eventually start picking up the pace. Number 5, this could be surprising depending on who you are, but I have the Jacksonville Jaguars at 3-1. I have them taken in that 5th spot based on performance. That that's who I have for my top 5 teams of the week in week 4.
Yeah, I don't really have any, but I'll just think of a couple off the top of my head. One being Kansas City. I mean, they've been a powerhouse. One being Jacksonville. Possibly could win the division. Unlikely, but maybe. Depends how they do with rivalry games is what it goes down to. Um, I could see the Browns just because of the fact that uh, I could see the Browns having maybe a 4-win season, which sounds awful, but compared to the last few seasons is amazing. And
Yeah.
then I could see the Ravens as one of them
Yeah.
because they probably won't win the division, but possibly. And then I could have what could be a fifth? I could have the Falcons. That should be a pretty easy game for them against the Bills.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah.
All right, before we end it here, I want to have a little discussion real quick. This shouldn't take too long. I don't know. You could edit this out if you want, but what do you want to do for next videos? Next video topics, because I was personally thinking possibly doing this would be I don't know how long, but it'd be a pretty decently long video. Us going by either tomorrow or this weekend sometime, going through the next weeks after week 4, or we'll just run by our week 4 predictions, go all the way up to the end of the season and the playoffs, early playoff predictions, or how we think the season will play out.
I say we should do that mid-season.
Yeah, if anything, we can do mid-season from week 9 and on, and maybe we can have a video where it would be week 4 to week 8, seeing how people would do at the beginning of the season.
Mhm.
So we have our before week 9, then we have our after week 9. What we think before mid-season hits, and then what we think after. But I
Yeah.
I think I'll probably have some pretty interesting picks over the next 4
Couple
weeks,
weeks.
week 8.
Yeah. We could do that. Probably better to do that over the weekend with my schedule, but yeah.
Yeah, cause I'm busy. Probably for the most part of Saturday, but Friday and Sunday I'm not really doing anything. Neither am I tomorrow. But um, besides school. But there we can also do maybe top 5, top 10 teams so far this season, or we could possibly
We could
run
do a
down.
playoff video from like week 5, for example.
I say after every 4 weeks, we go through and see who we think will make the playoffs. So there'll be 4 videos on it. One after week 4, one after week 8, and then 12, and then 16, or we could do one after week 5, 9, 13, and 7. Well, we'd have to do it 4, 8, 12, and 16 because we couldn't make one after week 17 because playoffs already happened. And the most exciting one will probably be week 16 because that will literally mean there's just one more week and there will be a lot of games indicating who's going to go to the playoffs.
Mhm.
We can also do a video ranking every team out of 1 of 32, ranking who's the best all the way up to who's the worst team in the
Power
NFL.
rankings.
Yeah, maybe we can have a weekly power rankings. Quick skim through that. But honestly, I think the power rankings, if we're going through all 32 teams, that's going to be a pretty interesting video, seeing how some teams have been playing.
Yeah, that's gonna be kind of difficult to make as well. You know,
Yeah,
analyzing all 32 teams.
yeah, but I think we're pretty solid on, or at least I am pretty solid on who the top 3 teams are.
Mhm. I feel like the both of us have the same predictions.
I mean, at least for me, my top 3 teams real quick are the Falcons, Chiefs, and then for my third team, it might come as a surprise, maybe not by how I've been talking, but I have the Rams. Rams, Chiefs, Falcons. They're my top 3 teams right now.
I like the Chiefs. Um, I like the Falcons are. I like the Patriots, so they're gonna bounce back. Um, maybe the Packers.
Yeah, possibly the Packers. I had the Oakland and Green Bay in the Super Bowl, but how they've been playing, I'm not so sure now. But I still have Oakland. The only time I'll start switching up my predictions is when we hit around week 12, 13, see how they're playing.
Yeah. All right. Well,
But
we're gonna end the video here because it's like almost a half hour probably. But
yeah, I'm get
yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll most likely do this again next week. But
yeah.
yeah. Hope you
I'm
have.
just
Do you want to do the outro or?
Nah, you can, but I'm gonna go work straight on my week 5, 6, 7, and 8 predictions, and then
Alright.
after the first 8 weeks, we can run down the past 8 weeks analysis, see who's the best teams, um, see who's the worst teams, those mediocre teams. But I'm gonna go and start working on those predictions so I don't have to worry about them at another time.
Alright, well, I guess we'll see you guys in our next video, and have a good day.